to my quilting life. Head down there, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, get notifications when I'm live, to like and share and comment on my videos. Today I am hoping that this will load, but it's probably not going to. Oh my goodness. Anyways, so today, as the title says, I am Frankenpiecing batting together. What, pray tell, do you say that is? Well, it's when you take a bunch of batting that's really chop-offs from the ends of quilts or the sides or wherever you have leftover batting, and you zigzag it together like Frankenstein. You just stitch it together, and it becomes a nice big huge piece, of batting. So I wrote in the description that you could use any kind of batting, which you can. You can use cotton, you can use 80-20, which is cotton poly. You can use wool, you can use polyester, whatever you can afford. If you have tons left over, you can use it. There are tons of uses for batting when it's done. One of my favorite is yanking it all apart and stuffing pillows with it because, well, it works really good. And or second favorite is using it for bags. But I have here what I will be piecing, which will be a little on the harder side, is a 8-ounce loft polyester, because that's what I've been using lately, because I purchased it for and most of the people that have wanted quilts have wanted thick fluffy batting, so I supply the thick fluffy batting, because if you go to the store, most of the batting, if you don't buy it on a roll, most of the batting that comes in a bag is pretty thin. And some people want their quilts thicker, so, and I do too. Surprisingly enough, they look and feel, and I don't know, I just like puffy. I like puffy quilts. So I have that, and I have lots of cuts left over, and I don't want to cut a new piece if I don't have to. Since the project that I'm Frankenpiecing all this together is just a scrap project, I want to use scrap batting for it. So that way I don't have to cut a fresh piece. So I can tell you this by experience. Cotton batting is the easiest to Frankenpiece together. 80-20 is the second easiest. Wool is the third easiest. And regular poly, like, like 1 or 2 ounce, just regular thin polyester batting that you buy in a bag, is the third easiest. This, on the other hand, is a little bit more complicated. Yeah, the third easiest was wool.
So the fourth easiest would be...
Yeah, the thinner poly. He's trying to correct me so that I say it. But most of the time, leftover cuts, and I'm going to hold this up so that you can see, leftover cuts are, some of them are pretty large, and I use them because they're so big for another quilt. So if I have a baby quilt, bam, I've already got a cut piece. So I usually separate these pieces, but I just grabbed my whole entire pile, and I'm just going to put them all together, because the more pieces I have, the bigger it grows, the faster it grows, and the easier it is for me to get this quilt done and out of the way. So I'm going to see who's here before I hold that up and show you guys the different, size pieces that I'm working with, and then how to work with it. And I was going to say I have a piece of cotton somewhere, but it was somewhere down there. Guess it's not now. I must have used it on a bag, but I was going to show you guys how the cotton works too, but I kind of can't if I don't know where the pieces are that are left over. I think either they're buried behind Scott over there in the closet or something. But hi Jim, hi Jill, hi Teresa, hi Joyce, Judy, and Suburban. No, that's just junk.
What did you want then?
Oh, it was just flat pieces of stacked batting. It's hiding back there probably. Anyway, so just so that you guys are aware, I am going to be using my brother machine for this. For Frankenpiecing batting, you can either do it by hand, so you can stitch just circularly all the way up, like a whip stitch all the way up to combine the two, or you can do it by machine. I choose to do everything by machine because I do not like to sew by hand. So I will be using my brother machine. It'll be right in front of you so that you can see the struggle because you really have to maneuver this just right for it to work properly and get this Frankenpiece together. So here is a big, huge piece, as you can see. Nice, big, huge piece. And it is a big square. Can you see that? This is enough to do a baby quilt. Look at how big this is. This is enough to do a baby quilt. But I just grabbed it and it's going to be used for what I'm using it for. And if you could see in camera, I gotta sneeze. I gotta sneeze again. No? Yes? Yes?
God bless you.
You can see how thick this is. In some areas it's really, really, really thick. In some areas it's really thin. But I'm going to be sewing all my pieces together. And I pull threads as I find them because sometimes they have leftover thread and sometimes they don't.
Oh, same. Bless you.
Thank you. Also, like this is the cutoffs to make the lines straight, and I'll show you how that works. See how easy this pulls apart like that? If you just sit and pull it all apart and stuff it in a pillow, you have pillow stuffing. That is what I save. Can you pass me that big bag?
Oh, is that what that was for?
Yeah, just so that you guys know what this can also be used for, you know, just tearing it apart like this. I make myself big, huge, I shove it in the bags like this. I fill this whole thing up. I have tons of these in the garage. And I just, when I need to stuff a pillow, this is how I do it. This is my pillow stuffing. So that I don't have to buy polyfill because here it is right here. And there's a mixture. There's cottons and stuff in here too. But I mean, it all tears apart easy. But when the pieces get too small, that's where they go. And then I have some that are a little bit bigger, but I still tear those apart. But I do have to straighten edges. That's one big thing. When you cut a quilt off of the frame or wherever, sometimes if you're cutting as you go, I usually don't, but I have before, off of the, when I'm long arming the sides so that they don't bunch up in the, as they roll up, I sometimes cut the quilt as I go. I save those cuttings because they can be used for bags. They can be used for quilts as you go. They can be used for pot holders or whatever you wish. The list goes on. So I save all that kind of stuff too. So I'm going to get started by grabbing. So here's the bottom of a quilt. You can see it's thin. So this was either cut off the bottom or off of a side. See? So it's folded in half. It's really long. But the only way I'm going to be able to sew it to another piece is if I have a nice straight edge. And you can see this is kind of a little jagged. I need my edges to be as straight as possible. And it looks like this was the manufactured straight edge right here. So it's like perfectly straight right here. So that's my manufactured edge. So I'm not going to worry about that side, but I am going to worry about this side right here. So you can see it's off quite a bit. I'm just going to go ahead and use my ruler and rotary cutter, and a 60mm blade works the best. And I am going to shave this off so that you can see. And I'm going to,
you had to cut so much off. Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to shave as I go.
Do you want me to cut it?
No, I got it. Again, all this gets used as pillow stuffings. So none of it's going to go to waste. And I know you probably think I'm going to get my fingers, but I can't hold that down and cut at the same time.
Do you want me to?
If you'd like. But your hand needs to be all the way on the other side.
I don't want to be in front of the camera. That's the problem here.
Watch your hand. There we go. So it's cut off and it's a nice straight clean edge like that. So I can sew along this nice edge. It just goes in my pillow stuffing. And I can tell you this, there's no different with stuffing with the leftovers from quilts than there is with using a bag of fluffy polyfill. Reason being is Scott uses the couch pillows that I stuff. They're usually just couch pillows or the throw square pillows. He uses all those and he has no problem with them. They don't bunch up or anything funny or go completely flat really quick or anything like that. So
Then again, Scott used a pack of 4 rolls of toilet paper as a pillow for a long time in the military.
yeah. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and start straightening all these.
So Scott will use anything.
And then I'm going to turn the machine on and start sewing them together. So here's my manufactured straight side. That was the end of the quilt. And here is my other side. And if you don't want to try to cut through all those layers, you could just lay it like this. And I would start at this end and start cutting.
Jill says, "How's the weather today?" She's asking me. I figure you can answer.
It's nice today. It's windy and chilly for me, but for anybody else, they're like, "Oh, that's fine."
The sun is out. At
The
least.
sun is
It's
out, yeah.
very, very sunny. If it wasn't windy, it'd be nice. It'd be like 68 degrees or something outside. The wind makes it really cold, though.
It's like 56 or something like that today.
Yeah.
So again, I'm just going to chop all this off, and it all comes out of the rotary cutter. It doesn't dull your blade any faster or anything like that, for those that are curious. I've never had a problem. And again, I just fill all this into a bag. And for now, I'm going to start sewing because I don't feel like cutting anymore right this very second. I'm just going to move that out of the way. So this is my brother SQ9285. People are always curious about it because it always sits behind me and I never use it. It is the most lightweight. Like, here's my bad wrist and it can pick it up. It hurts, but it has a handle and all that stuff, which you guys will see from the back side. It has a zigzag stitch. It actually has tons of different stitches, but I just want a zigzag stitch. And my zigzag stitch on here that I prefer because it actually stitches out a lot better is number 6.
Jill says, "Wow, that looks light."
And I widen, like, so we have, I know you guys are going to have a hard time seeing this, but we have stitch length and stitch width. I completely open the whole entire thing to be as wide as possible. So 4.0 for this stitch, and my stitch length is, or stitch width is 7, and my stitch length is 4 for my number 6.
You want me to take the camera closer so you can see
No,
that?
it's fine.
Okay.
And then I do have this foot on here. Can you see that? This foot right here. I'm using this open-toed foot because it helps me hold the batting down as I'm going. I'm also using just white thread. You can use, depending on the color quilt that you're quilting. I don't care what thread you use if you're just trying to use up some threads. I'm just going to use white because this is pretty much white. So, and I'm going to take 2 pieces. And I'm going to start.
Jill said it hit the low 70s in California today.
I'm going to butt these up. Can you see what I'm doing right here? I'm going to butt these up to each other and line them up in front of my needle. And again, this polyester is a little on the thick side, but it still works.
Teresa says hi.
Hello, Teresa.
Hi,
I'm going to
Teresa.
butt these up. I'm going to find my foot pedal because I'm totally in a different area. I'm butting them up the whole way down, and I'm going to use my fingers in front of me. If Scott wants to pick up the camera,
Can you move it? Okay.
carefully,
go
just
slow.
bring it over here
We'll go slow.
so that you guys could see how I do this.
Jill said you would have thought to use a tighter stitch. So
No,
it's
I
good to
use
know.
the loose stitch because this is a very, very thick. So I'm using my hands. I have this centered. Here's the split. You can see I have it centered at the foot. And then all I do is on the big stitch, see how fast this goes? I use my fingers to hold it down on the way.
Hi, Kathy. Kathy
You also
says
have
hi.
to be careful how big your throat space is. But it should work. This is very thick, so that is why I'm using a wider stitch. If you're going to be using Frankenpiecing your cotton together, then you wouldn't need as wide of a stitch. But it goes through pretty quick. It's just a little bit tough to wrangle together.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, Joyce.
Is it facing down on the machine?
Yes. Jill, are you zigzagging them?
Yes, it is zigzagging. So
Should I come like super close in?
we're going to
I can
come up
see
here
Stitch.
so you could see. Let it open up. So here's the
Hi,
opening.
Joyce. Hi,
You can
Lisa.
see the two coming together in between the middle of my open toe foot. And this is all I'm doing is holding it down as it zigzags down the center. It's a little bit hard to do when I'm the one holding the camera right here.
Do
But
you want me to hold it over here? I
can you hold
right
it in
there.
front of me just like this without wiggling and
I
moving?
can try.
Okay, hold on 2 seconds. There we go. Just hold it right there. That way it'll. So again, here's my opening. You can see it's split. And as long as I keep that stitch in the center, I also pluck away as many threads. So I'm getting to the thick part of this batting. You can see it's really, really thick. I'm just going to hold it down. Keep it on the underside. It's going to get stuck a little bit because it's so thick. I'm just going to pull with my hand in the back.
I don't think this is the clearest. I think we're getting quite a glare from the machine light.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know how to...
I don't know either.
Jill asked, would you use a tighter stitch on a cotton batting?
Yes. I open it all the way up, though, for this polyester. And I'll show you what it looks like in 2 seconds, because it's almost to the end. And you can see that one piece is bigger than the other. I'm just going to stitch right off, lift my foot, pull it away. Okay, now you can back away so I could show this.
Am I going back to the stand?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now, as you can see, it is nicely stitched together. You can see, let me come up close so you can see how wide my stitch is, and it grabbed both sides. Look, I could pull on it. It's not coming apart. See? And it doesn't create a very down suction, like, because it's so puffy, it's flat. There's no downness or anything like that. So you can see it's nice and together. No openings. So now I have this end right here that sticks up further. Huh, that's fine. Right there. Little holes like this are fine. There's one little hole right there. Little holes like that are fine. Tiny, tiny, tiny ones.
It's probably because we were moving the camera around over there and you got...
So I have a little piece that's a little bit longer. I'm just going to trim that to one size. And then add another piece until they are just growing and growing and growing. So something like this can be used as a bag, you know, in a bag, or in a quilt as you go project, or something like that. All right, I'll keep that out of the way. Now I've got two pieces together, and you're facing down, not me. You can't even see my face.
I'm facing on the table to see all the stuff that you were showing.
Oh.
Yeah, I did that on purpose. Do you want it up
This
now?
one isn't as long, so let's see what we can do to make it longer. Oh, here's one that's really long.
Do you want it up higher?
Face me. Okay. So again, one of these sides is a manufactured side, and one side...
Or we can just break the thingy off.
Okay, let me take care of this. Watch out.
I'm trying to hand it to you.
Hold on, guys. Scott broke the mount. So you're just gonna...
It popped off. I didn't break it.
Stay right here for 2 seconds. Just stay right there. How many mounts I've broke now. I don't really care to buy another one anymore. They can all just continue breaking.
It keeps popping apart.
There we go. Now you can just stay right there and not move. All right, so again, I'm going to find my manufactured edge, and I'm going to straighten that together. Because one edge is always the manufactured straight edge, which would have been the bottom of the quilt. Like, okay, so the quilt batting is loaded one way, up and down, so the quilt can go up and down. So that complete last bottom piece is from the quilt top, from the quilt batting, because it's on a roll, had been folded in half. So that's the last and final straight edge. So I'm just going to go ahead and straighten this edge up, lining it on top of each other. Doesn't have to be completely perfect. And I'm going to come over here, and you can see just by this end right here, look at the difference. So one is way over here and one is here. I'm just going to go ahead and straighten this whole side out now as I throw everything around. I didn't think of the small amount of space when bringing my brother over here too. All right, let's see. I have to come to about right here, all the way down. So I'm cutting off quite a bit on this one.
Yeah, that is a lot. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to put my hand on there again?
Nope.
I can come behind you and do it.
Nope.
That would probably have been smarter the first time.
That's for the,
Yeah, I get it.
I'm just gonna call it bag. I'm gonna throw this out of the way.
Hi, Vicky.
sewn.
Vicky says hi.
And I'm going to go ahead and add this side of it now. And again, I'm just going to be butting them up and sewing along them.
Bye, Jill. Jill's got to wrap presents quick. She said she'll watch the replay later.
Okay. So I'm going to join them together, but I'm not stacking them. If you stack them, what you're going to have is a big, huge, lumpy bump inside of your quilt. And you don't want that, even if it is just a scrap quilt made of all scraps, even scrap batting. You definitely don't want the lumpy bumpies. You want it to be super flat still. You want it to work just right. Oops, what am I thinking? This machine does not have that.
Of what? What are you looking for?
Hold on. Just going to rip that apart real quick. I connected it on the wrong edge.
It's okay. They need to see. That's how we all learn. Did I tell you Vicky said hi? Hi, Vicky.
Yes, hello,
I don't
Vicky.
remember if I said that or not. I don't remember where I'm at because I'm moving around a lot.
All right, here we go. This is the correct side now. I was wondering what was going on here. So again, I'm going to butt them up. I'm just going to keep hooking them together, and if your batting is big, just shove it in the throat space, just as long as your hands next to where it's going to be going into the needle is flattening it out on your way down. And I'm so used to doing this. I do this quite often with little scrap quilts or wall hangings or anything like that. This is one of the things I do. I just use the scraps from doing the bigger quilts. I usually don't have to piece that often, but sometimes I do. And the quilt, the extra quilt that I'm making is quite large, so I definitely needed a big piece. I needed to piece together something quite large.
Hi, Gwen. Gwen says hi.
Hi, Gwen. So here I go, and this piece is going to be a lot longer, the one that I'm just adding on to now. But I will cut that up. We're just going to keep building on what I have. And even all those leftover cut-off pieces could also be sewn together. Again, frankenpieced into a nice big mound of batting. Alright, so I'm coming up to the end of the one. I'll move this out of the way. Shove this the rest of the way through the throat, because you can see I have lots of leftover. I'm going to move this out of the way. This machine is so easy to just move out of the way. So you can see how much longer this is compared to my last amount. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim this off. And I want a straight line, so I'm just going to fold this up onto it. And there is my reference point. And then I'll go ahead and make a nice straight. So this piece now can be hooked somehow, some way to another piece. So those I'll just throw out of the way temporarily. So now I have quite a large piece. Look at that. Nice. Whoa. Big. Again, I'm pulling on it. It's not coming apart. If I would have done a tie stitch, it would have held it down really tight, and it also would have just been wasting my thread, honestly. So that is why I went with the big stitch. All right, let's see. This one can be hooked to this one. Let's see.
Here, do you want me to pull the threads off that?
Oh, look at that. So I'm going to hook these two together.
Do you want me to pull? Here, I can do that while you're doing whatever.
I also try to get as many threads, because sometimes out in the garage, I throw my, I don't, sometimes, I always throw my thread on the floor. So the batting picks it up off of the floor. Okay. So now I'm going to hook these two ends together to make a nice long piece. And then I'll straighten it to size. So again, I'm just hooking them together.
Have you heard from Diane? He's wondering since she was
No,
sick.
not today. And like I said, for cotton and stuff, this is so much easier for using cotton or more flatter battings, but you work with what you have. That's all I have to say. I work with what I have, and you should too, if you can't afford it. All right, so now I have a long piece, and I want to make this the same width. So I have a nice straight edge here. Look at that. So I have a nice long piece that's going to match those other ones. So now I'm just going to trim it to size all the way down. I'm probably going to waste a lot, but that's okay. As long as it's nice and...
You want me to hold on to that at all?
Nope.
Okay. You want me to do the cutting for you?
Nope.
Okay. See, I try. You don't let me.
Okay, here we go. Sometimes it doesn't get the thing all the way, but I just go back and cut it since this is going to be my pile of fluff.
I need another bag. Bag over here.
Okay, so this now long piece is all one. So now it can be connected to these long pieces. So let's go ahead and pull that around. I'm going to make sure that I'm putting the correct side. Oh, that's funny. All right, so now I'm going to hook these together. If I can find my foot pedal again. It keeps sliding around because this one does not have any grip on it. And the cat is playing with the batting on the floor now. It's definitely very interesting to him. He's like, what is this stuff? So, as you guys can see, it's not that hard. I mean, even the thicker battings can be sewn together. And if it gets stuck on my foot, I just rip a little, pull what I can away. The batting is together. That's all that matters. That's why I keep my fingers in front of the presser foot too, so that way it holds the, it doesn't get too stuck on the way sewing it. Because sometimes that happens, which it is happening on this piece for some strange reason. My fingernails also snag on it. Because I have very, very, very thin fingernails. So just watch for that if you have thin fingernails. Okay, so this one's going to be a little bit on the longer side, so we'll just trim it off again. But everyone was wondering how this works, so this is how I save money. You know, when you don't have enough money and you're barely pinching together to put a quilt together, this is the easiest way. Every time you've made a quilt, you have tons of leftover batting, and say something quick came up and you need batting and you can't afford to go buy anymore because you spent it all on the expensive fabric. Well, this
Batting
is the
expensive.
best way to piece it together and make it last longer for just one more quilt, you know?
Kathleen says hi.
Hello.
Hi, Kathleen.
I know I'm on at the same time as Mom and Pop, but I need to get this done. I can't wait all day, so. Because T comes on tonight and I like watching my shows. I definitely don't like to miss the shows that are, that I'm a frequent.
Oh,
I'm a
here.
frequent flyer.
You knocked this one off.
Oh, that's fine. So here's my excess of this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim this equal.
Hi, Diane. Or Kathleen, I mean, sorry. No one reading them, and I'm still reading them wrong.
Okay. So there's another piece. So as you could tell so far without running over my cords, look at all this now. Now I have a really...
Teresa says she does this too. She sews her
I
batting.
have a really huge piece now. Look at that. And look, I can yank on it. It's just fine. There's all of this hooked together now. And a cat trying to attack it. So now let's add more.
He's batting at the batting.
All right. So here is another really... Let's see if this is the same length. Because you don't have to keep doing straight rows if they're not all straight either. So this is probably the same length as this way.
The cat is batting at the batting.
Yep, he's batting at the batting.
Do you want me to hold an end here?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to add this now.
Okay.
I'm going to add this one to it. And so you can see there is also a seam that runs here, down there. So you can see it's holding together. I'm yanking on it.
Piece.
That's as many pieces as I could possibly get
Piece.
to go together.
It's alive.
Okay. So let's turn this again.
She's creating a monster.
And then I'm going to open it up. I'm just going to use that manufactured edge because that's already straight. And I'm going to line it up to this one. Put it in there and start sewing.
Vicky slapped.
I'm really, really thick right here. Come on. There we go. Yep, this is the best way to save money right here. Piecing it all together. And it's not going to waste. So what works for me should work for you. If I can do it, it's so easy. I mean, again, you have to pay attention. If you have rough hands, I would say this would be even harder but I don't think us quilters, any of us have rough hands besides the dry season, and we're not rubbing the top of our hands on the batting. Yep, because your hands would be getting stuck to it like mine do sometimes, but I just have to adjust every now and then, shove more batting in the throat space. I know when it gets bigger, it's harder to push, but I always add the smaller pieces on through the throat space and the bigger pieces hang off tables. This is a very complicated thing to do with it back there on the table. That's why I brought it over here so that you guys can see as well as would make it easier on me. Because the struggle is real sometimes.
The struggle is real. Do you mean to pull or move anything?
Nope.
Looks like you got a big mound of snow on you.
I do have a big mound of batting snow on me. And you know, another use for batting is you can lay it in your front yard with all your Christmas decorations as snow.
You're freezing. Is there a way to unfreeze? Oh. Okay. Suburban says, my hands are always a mess. I do a lot of gardening.
All right. This piece is now added.
I think you're moving again, but you're not clear. Oh, there we go. Now you're clear.
So did you guys get my comment on another thing you can do with the batting? All your batting, if you decorate your home for Christmas, with all your Christmas decorations, lay the batting on the ground like snow. For those of you that live in areas like me and have no snow, here's your decoration. Lay this out on the ground and bam, instant snow.
Jim says sometimes he likes to piece batting by hand, but he uses the cotton batting so he doesn't have the bulkiness.
Yeah. I use cotton batting only when it's asked of me to have it, but so far lately everybody wants thick batting. They see it on the quilts, my sample or example quilts, and they're like, nope, that's what I want. Whatever you have inside there, that's what I want. So now I have an even bigger piece. Look at this, it's huge. Now I need to, let's see how long it is. Hold that side.
Of course.
Hold this side. Let's see. Is that the length of the quilt? It looks like it already.
Let's take tape measure. I'll hold this in.
I don't even remember how big that one quilt is.
We'll check in a second.
Oh my goodness. I'm already at 108 inches here.
Yes, it's not near that. Should we do our width now? Do we have a constant width?
Hold that up and I'll just go like this. We're at like 65 inches and I need to go to, I don't remember because I don't remember if I wrote it down.
Let's pull the quilt out. And quick check.
Now I got to see how big I needed to be. All right, here, take it to the end of that, but just try to keep all this together.
I'm trying.
Not the end.
I'm trying.
It's very stretchy, remember?
Yeah. Can you just hold the thing out?
This is not working very well today.
Well, honey, you measure your quilts 2,000 times. You need to write them down. But
I do
that's
write them
okay.
down. I have to flatten it right here.
Oh.
Okay, go. It is 97 long.
We're going to try and do a wide now because you got 108, so 97 is.
Let's do it this way. Line it up. 30 plus 30 is 60. We're just guessing here. 60, 70 inches. 70 by whatever I said.
Please don't break my tape measure.
70 by whatever I said. What did I say?
90 something. So 108 is plenty.
Okay, so now I need to add to the sides because I was at 60.
Yes.
So, where are we
I
at?
need another 10 inches.
I need to go this way now.
Teresa says if I put that in on the floor, it'll get full of hair before you know it.
Yeah, I try not to lay it on the floor in here because it gets covered in thread. Thumper's really never in here besides lately, but he doesn't really, I don't know, I don't think he's shedding all over anything. But there's really no floor space anymore here to even lay anything on the floor. All right, so I think I'm going to split this in half. Because you said 10 more inches.
Yeah.
So this...
And what about these pieces? We can't just quick throw some of these on?
Nope, I'm going to split this in half. Hook it together.
Because that's 10 inches there.
Nope, I'm just going to do this one. Just going to do this one.
And then you put them together. How long is
So
that?
half is right here. All right, there. All right, so I'm going to split this in half. Here's my halfway mark. Nice and straight. Grab this. Put it on there.
What are you going to use these for then?
No idea.
Oh. Well, they're pretty big. I don't want to shove them in that bag that's already overflowing.
I have another bag next to you, right there.
Okay. Well, I've been asking you because that one's overflowing.
It's fine.
Why didn't you tell me that?
All right.
In there.
Now I'm going to hook the two of these together like that for length. So here's the two sides. I'm going to hook these together and then I'll hook this whole thing onto the bigger part.
Joyce says there you get enough snow here in good old Wyoming. Joyce, we get a lot of Wyoming snowbirds down here. You can always come down here for winter.
Yeah.
Got a lot of Wyoming, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Montana.
North Dakota, South Dakota.
A lot of Canadians.
Canada.
Yeah. A lot of Canada.
We get snowbirds from everywhere. So I'm going to shove this through the machine now. Move this out of the way. And then this side will now hook to we're going to be sewing this for a while because this whole thing is going to hook to this whole thing. So I'm going to put this on my lap. I'm going to turn the machine and we're going to be sewing for a few minutes because this is the longer seam to go all the way down.
Do you want me to move that so you don't hurt anything? Never mind.
All right. Oops.
Never mind.
Stay right there. For those that are just joining, I am frankenpiecing my batting together to save money because this is how I do it. I'm just like that. And if you have lumps and bumps in it, that's the only way someone would know. But you know what? Sometimes lumps and bumps happen. That's why we don't overlap. Just butt them up to each other and sew on down. I also have to play the game of shoving it through here.
Okay.
Once this is together, I will still have enough piece right here. This will be enough to do a wall hanging or something. So I will have one piece left over and I'll have used up all of the last few Quilts' scraps that were out in the garage that I've been stacking against the window out there. It's a used up. Could have stuffed like 10 pillows with this amount too. If that's what I was going to do with it all.
Sunita says hi, honey.
Hello. Just running this through, frankenpiecing my batting.
Sunita does the same thing and with her stabilizer.
Yep. Any way to save money, and for those that didn't know how to do it, that is why I'm doing the video, because some people were like, Frankenpiecing, what are you talking about? So for those that are new, this is what you do with your leftover batting for leftover projects. Or if you want to put double amount of batting in your quilt, piece all your pieces together and stack both battings. Of course, with this kind of batting, you don't need double batting. It's pretty thick on its own, but you can do this with the cottons, the 80/20s, the thinner polyesters, the thicker polyester. You can do it with wool. You can do it with any kind of batting. Some of us just don't have the extra money to waste right now, especially this time of year, to go out and buy more batting.
Well, batting's expensive, yes.
Now around the holidays, money's
And
tight
we'll
for everybody.
cut more off when I only bought 3 rolls and my first roll is pretty much gone. And I'm not even using like the best thread. I'm just using this cotton thread that I had in the drawer because I can't obviously have an external big spool like I usually have hooked to this while I'm doing this batting thing because it'll have gotten knocked over 500 times. After this is sewn on, though, I should be about the size of my quilt. And then I can sew that together. Oh, yeah. This is big and fluffy right here. There we go. I'm going to shove the rest of this through the throat space. It's a little challenging to do, but it gets it done. So now, if I move this out of the way, I'm going to trim this bottom piece off. So that way it's the same as the rest. So again, this could be used for a bag. Or I could take all of these pieces and make wall hangings or whatever. Because that's pretty much what I use all my excess batting for. It's mainly all my wall hangings. So look at this. All this, look at how much batting is here now. All of this is now sewn together. Look at that. And it is one humongous piece now that should be the size of my quilt.
Hi, Nita. Nita says hi, Tiff. She says, how's the Frankenpiecing going?
And it's done. That's how it's going. Why does it look like the sky turned cloudy? That's weird.
Well,
maybe it's
maybe it
just the
did.
sunset. All right, so there's that. I'm going to move that out of the way. And the quilt that it needs to go on in is this. So that you guys can see. This is stretchy, so I'm just going to be putting it together pillowcase style. Like seriously, it's so stretchy. But I got my batting, my backing already ready for it. I just need to put it together the proper way, and yeah. Okay, let me move all this out of the way, because the next step, if I put it together, will be on.
Take a break, honey. Yourself. Do you want me to get your water?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Next step
Relax.
for me, because I've already finished the Frankenpiecing, is I'm going to be putting this together. But I do need to lay it on the living room floor and flatten it out and blah, blah, blah. So if you guys want to see me put this together, pillowcase style, where I put the batting down and then the backing right side up and then the quilt top right side down, all I'm doing is sewing all the way around, leaving an opening. I'm going to pull the whole thing through, and then I'm going to put a couple tack stitches throughout the whole thing, and bam, that'll be done after I stitch all the way around the edge so it never falls apart. That is all I'm doing with this. This isn't anything fancy. It's not getting any quilting. It's just whatever. So if you want to see me do that, we can come back in about 20 minutes. It takes me or so to lay this on the floor. Or I can come back later tonight as long as it's already together. But if you guys want to see that, I can do that as well. This is super stretchy. Like I said, this is all the leftover fabric, so you can see. Look at that.
Lisa
That's
said she
pretty horrible.
stitched some cotton batting strips a couple days ago, but not that much.
Oh yeah, that's a lot. But that's just because this is pretty big, so I needed to have enough to whole thing. So I just figured that I didn't want to waste any of the leftovers of the lady's stuff, so she's just getting a third surprise quilt.
So this
As
the
a
top
Christmas
doesn't get
gift.
quilted? How's it going to stay on? I'm confused. Explain to me that.
It goes together like a pillowcase.
Uh-huh.
This will be face down on this. The batting will be on the bottom, and then I'll turn it out, which will come out like this. And then the edges won't need no binding or anything. And then I'll just go and put some tack stitches through the whole thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So if you guys
That's
want to
gonna
see
be
the
a
process,
big,
let me know
giant
now,
pillowcase.
because then I'll come back later tonight and finish the process. But for now, I need to lay it on the living room floor again, because that's where I have the best space to flatten everything out, and then with the batting and everything, because I can't do it in here. And then I can stitch it on the Juki and put it together, and then add some tack stitches and be done. After stitching all the way around, obviously. So if you want me to do it, I'll come back. I do need to eat some dinner too, because I realize that it's already hungry time.
Yeah, I think you should take more than 20 minutes. Take
Yeah,
like a half
I
an
can
hour
come back a little bit later, maybe
time do you
after
come on?
tea. She comes on at 9 p.m. her time, so that'd be 8 p.m. our time or 7 p.m. our time. I don't remember if she's 2 hours different or not. Who is Kim on here? No.
Not that I know of.
I think it's 8 my time. I try not to miss my videos with my friends. Anyway, All right, then I'll come back later as soon as I'm done with this. Maybe Mom and Pop will be over with by then. Sometime after 9 or 10. It'll be a late one. We could just go into the Insomniac series, I guess. And yeah, then I'll finish it then. That way it's done. So I just wanted you guys to see me Frankenpiece this batting together. As you can see, even with polyester 8-ounce loft batting, it is together. I'm yanking on it. Look at that. You can see it is holding nicely. Look at that. And it's just, it's going to work. it's all together, and I have nice big huge piece, and it went together super quick. I thought it was going to be longer, but it went together faster. A lot of
people are saying come back.
Yeah,
sure,
okay.
Tiff, yes, please.
It'll be late.
Back.
It'll be
Come
later.
on
I'm
back,
going to
Tiff.
eat, and it'll be after tea is on. So,
Jim says you
'cause
can
I
if
don't
you
know
want to. Gwen says see you later.
I don't know what time it is right now, so unfortunately, yeah.
It's a little after 5:30. It's about 5:40 our time.
I'm gonna see what
So
time
Urban
she
says
comes
I'm
on.
getting
That way I
hangry
can come
too.
back. We'll see. Just wait. I'll be on sometime tonight. Okay. Just.
Lisa says I always enjoy
I will be
watching
on.
you, but I doubt I'll make it till tea time.
Yeah. Okay. Just.
Talking about tea, you know.
Yeah.
At tea.
Yeah. I will be back just sometime. Okay. So that's it for Frankenpiecing batting together. Like it goes.
Hi Kim.
super
Kim's
fast.
on now.
Kim, what time is it where you are?
Right
In
on.
Missouri too. That's why.
Nita says yes if you're
It's an
uptight.
hour difference, right?
I don't know. Don't
Well,
ask
I
me.
don't know the time because
I just told you it's 5:40.
Oh, okay. So she's probably like 6:40 or 7:40, something
He
like that.
says it's 6:37, so they're an hour ahead.
Okay, so that means if tea comes on at 9 her time, this should be on at 8 our time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. So if I come on in a little while, I come on in a little while. If I don't come on until after tea, then I'll come on then. So just know
Worst comes
that
to
I
worst,
will
you
be
could
on
do it
tonight.
tomorrow for Show Sunday if you
No,
want. Or
it'll
do you have
be
something else
tonight.
planned?
I wanted to work on those blocks behind you tomorrow.
Okay. I have no idea, but okay. Sure.
Yeah. All right. That's it. I'm going to go. You guys saw this high Frankenpiece batting, just a zigzag stitch. And if you're stitching by hand, make sure you're butting them up, but you're stitching just a continuous stitch from one side to the other, all the way down, just looping it along the edge. It goes really fast. Don't yank it though, or tug on it, because you have to tie it off at the end and then I've done it by hand once, so, and it works just the same. And again, you can do it with any kind of batting. It goes quick, and it saves money. So, and we all have leftover batting. We all do. We all do. All right, subscribe, like, share, comment on my videos, and I will see you guys later sometime.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.